the most updated information on Fathom and everything that we have. The council is going to adjourn into executive session, and then when we come back from executive session, then there will be reports from the city manager on utility administrative services. So we have all the information that we have, we can provide to you as citizens. So at this time, I can ask City Secretary to read the executive session.
Item 1, consultation with legal counsel pursuant to Chapter 551.071 of the Texas Government Code regarding the agreement with GW Fathom.
The time is 6:13. Council will adjourn to executive session. Reconvene into open session. We have no action to be taken, so we'll move on to reports from staff, outside entities, advisory committees, and boards. Our city manager's report. Mr. Haverlock.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor and council and residents, on November 9th, City Council Fathom, who is our utility billing, payment collection, and customer service provider, notified the city by email that they would essentially be going out of business. The following Tuesday after that, city staff actually participated in a client-wide meeting with Fathom, and Fathom at that time notified us that they would be going out of business at the end of November 2019. So as of that time, it was less than 3 weeks' notice that they would be going out of business. Many people have asked, how is that even possible? So essentially, to give a short recap of what happened, Fathom created a business model and began gathering clients based on their business model. However, they could not acquire enough clients to pay for the debt or the investments that they had put into the products that they were providing. Whether those products were good or bad, we all have an opinion on that, and I absolutely know what many of our residents' opinion is on that, and it's not a good opinion. And I don't disagree, particularly on the customer service piece. However, by this past summer, Fathom actually tried to go through a sale process for the assets and the customers that they had acquired, with no success. And by the end, at the beginning of October, and by the end of October, they were told by those who hold the money, which that means that's the bank, that's the creditors, that's their investors, that they were going to go out of business. And they were given a timeline that they had to meet, and so to the detriment of all their existing clients, they notified us with less than 3 weeks notice that they would be going out of business. Fathom has presented to the city and all their clients an organization that they are trying to work with and introduce to Fathom's clients. That organization is called Vertex One. Vertex One is not a Fathom company. It is a software company. They do not provide the same services that Fathom provides, which is particularly the customer service piece. But they do provide a software solution for billing and customer management, or information systems as we call it. Vertex has stated that they would be willing to take Copperas Cove and many of the other Fathom clients on as their own client. And they have been very direct and honest about what their expectation is, and that they understand the sensitivity of the timeline that we are facing. The city staff since that time has been researching numerous issues and opportunities. Vertex One is just one option. The city already had a billing system before we switched over to Fathom. That is one option that we began looking at immediately. And so we've begun communications with that company, and we will be sharing all of the options and details with you this Thursday at noon, which is when a special council meeting has been called specifically for this topic, to get into the details and try to get some direction and possible action from council on what direction we as a community are going to go with utility billing. At this point, based on the information that I have, it would be staff's recommendation that we go back to a full-service in-house utility administration department, which means we are providing customer service, we are providing the billing calculations, billing oversight, the payment collection process, but it does require that we have assets or resources to provide that service. And so there are many other things, if that is the direction that council wants staff to go down, and we'll be specifically asking you for that direction on Thursday, such as a physical location for the office. We have to identify that because the current location won't suffice. We have to make decisions on software providers for billing, for customer portal or online portal options, payment processing, bill printing and mailing, as well as the whole meter reading system. And so that leads me to my very next point, and that is the city owns all water meters and the entire water meter reading collection system. And so none of that is owned by Fathom. Fathom is not coming here to rip it out of the ground and sell it off at an auction for pennies. We own that, and that's not going anywhere. That is staying in our community. Those are staying in the ground. And again, the software to read those meters, though, is something that we would also have to be looking at. And so we know who we need to talk to. We've been talking with those organizations to make sure that we get the proper quotes, the proposals, and very importantly, the cost for all those things. So by Thursday, we will have a very comprehensive discussion on this. There will be lots of direction seeking that staff will do with City Council as well as possible action. There have been some very specific questions that we've received from our customers, and they're very valid questions. And I want to say thank you to a number of our directors and staff who've been working tirelessly on this process. Our Public Works Director, Scott Osborne, who is lucky for him, the Tuesday after Fathom announced that they were going out of business, took over the responsibility of the Utility Administration Department. I made that assignment prior to receiving that notice, and he has taken on the role very diligently and with an urgency, knowing the impact that it has to us as an organization, to our community, and to our customers. Because this is not fun. We already went through a transition process over 3 years ago. It was not fun. Last 3.5 years have been very difficult. And to all of our customers, I want to say I'm sorry. We're going to have to go through another transition process. I don't know how difficult it's going to be, but I do know that the staff in your organization, as well as the city council, will look at every option and make the most appropriate decisions based on the information that we have. But I think one of the best things about this is that this is an opportunity to begin providing the service that our customers expect for our utility administration department and for the service that you receive. there have been some questions, and so these have been, and I need to thank Valia Key, our finance director, who, this is a financial operation also. There's a big customer service component to it. There's a big health and safety component to it. There are public works department making sure that clean services, healthy services are provided. And all those individuals work tirelessly to make sure that those services continue without interruption or little interruption as possible. Valia Key has been instrumental in making sure that we are reviewing the proposals from other organizations, and particularly to ensure that the payments from customers are still being coded to those customers' accounts, and that the city is receiving those payments back into the water and sewer fund and the solid waste fund and the drainage fund. And lastly, I want to thank Kevin Keller, our public information officer, because he has been releasing these press releases. And I'm going to hold this up, but if y'all haven't seen this on the city's website, there is a specific link on the homepage that says Fathom Transition. All information related to the transition will go through that link. It is a central place for that information. This information has been pushed out not only on the city's website, but particularly in social media format. One question we received is, well, why wasn't this mailed out or put on the bills? Honestly, because it's happened so quickly. And the bills my bill that I just received, there's no way we could have gotten it in that bill, much less on that bill, with the timeline that we had received this information. In order to push this out by mail, it would have cost us, and this is just the initial estimate, $7,000 for you to get that information a week past or a week beyond when it was already fresh. And so we are going to continue utilizing online, social media, and the news outlets to push this information out. So please, as customers, do not expect written notification until we have a solution of the direction that we're going. Then we will send that out by mail so that all customers do receive that. Because just today, we talked to a customer who is having a Fathom issue, not uncommon, and in talking with that customer, they had no idea this was going on. And so there are customers in our community who are unaware of the situation that's going on. So all of you that are here or that are watching or that read the newspapers, please share this information with your circle of people, okay? It's important that we get this information out. We need to keep our community informed with the facts of what's going on. Another question was, will I have an interruption in water service? The answer is, your water is not going to be disconnected by Fathom, okay? Fathom doesn't have the magic button to turn water on and off. City staff have always turned water on and turned water off. It is important for customers to understand, which was the next question, that you pay your bill. It is really important. Let me explain why that is really important. When we transitioned over 3 years ago with Fathom, the city caused a problem. We got behind in billing by over 2 months. And as a result of that, many customers chose not to pay or advance pay their bill. And many of those customers, in some cases rightfully so, because you don't pay for service you don't know how much you owe on, but they didn't set that money aside either. And so when they received the bill for the service, though late, they didn't have the money to pay that bill, and now we're in a whole situation which is not good for anybody, not the customer, not the organization, and not the city as a whole. The fees that we pay for the direct cost of the service we receive. There are no investors for the city of Copperas Cove's water service, sewer collection service, solid waste. All of us are the stakeholders. And we don't want a check from our own neighbor for the service they're receiving, because guess what? We're giving our neighbor a check too. We're simply paying for the cost of that service. And then when we don't pay for that cost as customers, we are damaging the ability to provide that service in the most efficient and healthy way possible. Very soon, we will be sending out a press release asking all customers to begin sending their payments by mail, if you mail it, to a local P.O. box. Currently on the bill, there is a lock box where payments are mailed to. That lock box is received or is a company that then opens that mail, scans that payment, records that payment, and then sends the funds directly to the city promptly. However, because of the situation with Fathom, that service is going to end, and we need to get this information out as quickly as possible. So be on the lookout, particularly for that item. We have a local utility administration office where payments can be made. I would encourage customers to use that. Keep in mind, we are not staffed for 14,000 local payments at our utility administration office. We have, on a fully staffed day, 3 customer service representatives to take payments. 3 customer service representatives cannot take 14,000 payments in a month's time period. And so I ask you to please be patient, particularly if you go to our local office. And please be kind to those individuals because they are in this situation just like you are. And they're going to provide the best customer service that they can also. As far as payments online, right now I don't know what the solution is. We will be presenting those options to City Council on Thursday and asking City Council to provide direction as to a number of issues, but online payments happens to be one of those things. So after November 29th, online payments will eventually stop. And you will not even have the ability to make payments online for your water bill. And so, just letting you know up front, I don't know what the solution is yet, but we are fully aware that that is an issue. My understanding is auto pay customers, and I happen to be an auto pay customer, those options have already been turned off by Fathom. So, good thing for Fathom, they've turned those off. I encourage you, if you are an auto pay customer, to check, and if you haven't, turn it off. I'm encouraging you to turn it off. Going down my list. Will Fathom be required to pay any money back and or be sued by the city? So I can tell you that our city attorney has advised City Council on a number of topics. The question of, is Fathom going to pay the city? Let me put it this way. Fathom's going out of business because they don't have enough money to stay in business. Fathom's not paying the city. And if you think you can sue an organization that's going out of business because they don't have money and get money back, it's like trying to get, how do they say it? Blood out of a turnip? Is that the right phrase? That's not going to happen either. And the other question is, how can I find out more? So as I've been stating, we'll be pushing this information out regularly in regards to the status of where things are at. But Thursday, we are having a special council meeting at noon. We're going to try to be as efficient going through all of the options for City Council. If City Council does decide to take action, there will be opportunity for public comment according to state law during that council meeting. This Friday at 6 p.m. at the Civic Center, we are also having a public forum. That public forum is going to provide more detailed information than this report or even during Thursday, so that our customers have the most information that I can possibly put out during the presentation and still keep it understandable and retainable. We will also be answering questions that we've received regularly. It'll be kind of a Q&A type session. And then there will be opportunities for questions from the public. I, and the mayor and this council and staff do not want to not have a public discussion. That's why we're having a public forum. But let me say one thing, and I've said this multiple times. Unfortunately, the past is the past, and it's been painful. And we don't forget painful things. But what I am asking our customers is to understand that this organization and this governing body and staff in particular, because we went through, and I'm going to say it, we went through the hell of transition when we went with Fathom, and many of you can attest to that. But the past is the past, and we need to look at forward to making this bad situation that we've been in for 3.5 years a good situation for our community. Staff is committed to it. I believe that this governing body is committed to it because they hear from you each and every day, as well as staff. And so help us come up with good solutions and help us have positive critiques of the options that we're looking at and moving forward with. Bringing up the past and simply complaining, and forgive me for not having a better word, about the past and the past activities and how this governing body or the city staff moved forward with something that the community didn't want, we recognize that. Believe me, we've heard you. We have heard you very clearly. And that's why I stated at the very beginning, it is staff's recommendation that we would go with an in-house, full-service utility administration department. Again, that's still, we will still look for council direction on that. But that would be staff's direction on Thursday, and we'll receive that on Thursday. With that, Mr. Keller, did I miss anything? I'm going to use you as a sounding board real quick.
Facebook Live for both of those.
Facebook Live, so many people who are on Facebook, I encourage you, if you cannot attend the special meeting on Thursday or the public forum on Friday, we will have a Facebook Live going for both of those meetings. Many times on Facebook Live, if I understand, forgive me, I'm not on Facebook, you can post questions or comments. At this time, it is not anticipated that we would be answering those questions or comments during those meetings, because I think there will be enough questions and comments at the meeting for us to get through. And know that if you are posting questions or comments on Facebook, we have one public information officer who does an outstanding job at responding to a number of comments and questions. But because of the vast number of comments and questions that we have, you can't get to every single one of those. I do encourage you, if you really have major concerns, come and talk to us. Come and see us. I encourage you to come and see us. Yes, we're all busy, we're all doing things, but you are our residents. We serve you. So you have a major issue, major concern, and you're not getting an answer, come and see us. I encourage you to do that. With that, Mayor, I conclude that report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. The next item on the agenda is citizens forum, and I do realize that we do probably, even likely, possibly, have a number of you that want to speak during citizens forum tonight, so I do want to reiterate the rules during citizens forum. It will be 5 minutes per person, and 30 minutes total is allotted for this section. So please understand that I am going to time each individual that is speaking, so we have the ability to let as many people who would like to speak during that 30 minutes. So Madam Secretary,
Minutes per person. 30 minutes total has been allotted for this section. Pursuant to subsection 551.042 of the Texas Open Meetings Act, any deliberation or decision about the subject of inquiry shall be limited to a proposal to place the subject on the agenda for a subsequent meeting.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. My name is Sylvia Rhodes. I live at 1925 Pleasant Lane, and I served as the city's recycling coordinator for 12 years and was instrumental in implementing the single-stream recycling program. The solid waste department was able to implement this program without going into debt. The city spent hundreds of thousands of dollars getting recycling containers, green recycling containers, to the residents free of charge. We were very proud of this program, and as a resident, I am still proud of this program. To have even just the chance that this program could go away, to me, is heartbreaking. The city spent a lot of money and effort to implement the single-stream recycling program. Let's not waste how far we've come. While it may not be a popular option, I believe there are others like me in our city who love the recycling program and understand that there is a cost to offer this program. And most most of us would be willing to pay a couple of dollars a month to be able to help with the cost of this program. You have various options. Please do not consider a subscription-based program because it has been shown not to work. Just look at Colleen and how their program was not sustainable and went away. I know at this point you are taking a wait-and-see position, and I appreciate that. But there may come a time where you need to make a decision about our recycling program, which is why I'm addressing you today. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Good evening, Terry Deans, 801 Craddock Street. If there's ever a time for us to sit back, lick our wounds, and start the healing process, the time is right now. We were given a gift, believe it or not, when Fathom dumped us, when they broke up with us. That was actually a gift. It was never an easy transition. Mr. Haverlaw brought that to our attention. It will not be an easy transition bringing everything back in-house. However, I do believe that all of us, and I will step out on a limb here and say all of us, are willing to take that little bit of pain to see that transition succeed and bring our resources back to our city. I think we've already learned the lesson. Outsourcing does not work for Copperas Cove. We have too many people here who are dedicated to the city and dedicated to the health and welfare of our city. They would be willing to step in and say, I'll roll my sleeves up, and I will, Terry Deans will roll my sleeves up and help do the dirty work to get it all back in-house. I'm offering my services, and I'm sure there are many other people out there in the position that I'm in. I have the time. Give me the resources and let me help. There's no sense in rehashing the past. It's done, it's over. I think we can all agree it's time to move forward. And I would trust that the city council and city manager and the people a lot smarter than we are, like our lawyers and our budget directors, can come up with a plan to bring it all back to the city where it belongs and keep it here. We've learned a very valuable lesson. We're not finished yet. We've got a long way to go, but I think we're going to get a long way very quickly. I would ask you all, please, to put away your pitchforks and your tar pots and your feathers. That time is over. Let's bring out the Band-Aids and the peroxide and the hugs, and let's get started on the right foot. So who's with me? Who's with me? Let's heal this city. Let's heal it now. Let's do it. We can do it. We will do it. I want to say thank you. God bless all of you. And with this upcoming holiday season, please stay safe and be blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Deans. She said it all.
I just want to say thank you to the citizens for giving us the chance to fix this. And we appreciate you, and we're going to do everything we can to make this right. I'm saying that on behalf of myself. I can't speak for my council persons that are sitting up here with me, but like Ms. Dean said, this is an opportunity to make it right for the citizens of Copperas Cove, and we're going to do everything, I'm going to do everything that I can to make this right for the citizens of Copperas Cove. So we appreciate each and every one of you that came out tonight, came here this evening, and thank you for not yelling at us. With that, we'll move on to